If you had the impression that tearing down a car that's been sitting for years was gonna be quick, easy, and clean, your favorite car show has been lying to you. Whoa! This is Ratrod Garage. This is my 1951 Ford shoebox. I've already chopped it. I've already done suicide doors. I'll put a link up here somewhere so you can see those videos. The floor is just junk. There's holes there. There's holes there. Everywhere you stand in this thing, you feel like you're about ready to fall through. I don't even think this meets the Flintstone standards, to be honest with you. The floor's got to come out either way. So I might as well just take the body off the car, cut the floor out, do all the suspension work. I could strip the frame, get rid of all the old junk that I don't need off of it, and basically start fresh. And for me, it'd be a lot easier to work with instead of trying to tuck myself inside the car to do all the suspension work. So that's how I'm gonna do this. I don't know if this works for you. Do what works for you. That's all I'm saying. Before we can get to getting the body off of this thing, we've got to brace it up. Here's my driver's door if I haven't shown this yet. I mean, look how nicely this thing closes. It's perfect. Anyways, I've already cut the old body mounts out in the front here. I got new body mounts I made up. We're gonna put a support across there and attach it to there. I've already got all the other body mount bolts out, so they're all out. And then we're gonna brace her up, so when I cut the floor out, she doesn't wanna, just collapse on herself. Because if she collapsed on herself, that would be bad. And I have a hard enough time keeping things square as it is. I don't need to make it easier to go out of square, I guess. So that's what the plan is. And then we'll see where we end up from there. Let's get to it. So I was getting ready to take the steering column out here, so that way when I take the body off, it's easier. And I came across this. This is, assume, one bolt. Then I suspect there's two more. I can't find them under the frame here, but then there's these two bolts that are really long. Like, look at the washers on there. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I don't know, I lost count after 10. But there's a lot of washers stacked up there, and this one has like square nuts and then a regular nut and then a stack of washers. Like, somebody didn't know what bolts they needed, so they just found whatever they had laying around, spaced them out and shoved them in there. I would never do anything like that. That's a lie. I just thought it was an interesting find because it's obviously been in there a long time. So it kind of makes you wonder, what's the story there? Why did that happen? Somebody did that years ago. So just thought it was interesting, thought I would share it. I'm gonna get the steering column out now. I'll shut up. Yeah, I ended up cutting the hole in the firewall bigger. Don't judge me, it's out, isn't it? Besides, the floor is getting cut out anyways, it'll be fine. I've also decided, being I've cut into it this much already, I'm gonna cut out, well, probably just the clutch pedal now. Just cut that section of floor out. That way I can lift the whole body off and leave those in place. I'm always about the easiest path to the end. And this, to me, seems like it. Here, I drilled that out. I mounted this in here. I gotta put that one in there over there yet. I still gotta bolt it down. Then we're gonna run that bar right here that I cut. We're gonna run that across, and then we're gonna put legs on it down to these body mounts. So this is located where the body's gonna go back on once I cut all the floor out. There's no question of where it needs to be. I'm not sure if this is the best way to do it. It's just the way I'm going to do it. And then from that bar, I'll do some cross braces, make sure everything's secure, and hopefully get ready to get this body lifted off. It's fine. Just don't worry about that sound. That was fine. All that measuring I did and making sure everything was gonna work and holding it up there and checking the fit weren't great until I actually welded it in, and I came up a little short here, so we had to fill in a little gap there with some weld. Now technically, the body is mounted back to the frame. Ow, that's really hot. Oh, that was stupid, Simon. That was stupid. We're gonna support everything. We need to put a bunch of cross bracing in here so that when we lift the body off and cut the floor out, the cab or the car doesn't do one of these like body shifting things. I didn't brace my Belverado body at all when I cut the floor out of that, and we made it work. It's fine. So if I brace the body on this one, it should be like 10 times better, right? That's what I'm telling myself anyhow, so we're gonna go with it. I'm pretty sure I've got the front of the car ready to remove the body from the frame. The rear, however, needs some help. I'm gonna remove the rear bumper so that's not in the way, not hanging up on anything. I'm probably even gonna ditch the trunk lid just to save some weight. It doesn't weigh a whole lot, but it still weighs something. And the more weight I get off of it, the easier it is to get the body off without any kind of like lift system. Ugh, that's not moving. There we go. Real honest with you, I haven't even crawled underneath there to look to see what I'm gonna have to do to get that off. I probably should start there. Well, it looks like there's 2 bolts on either side on the outside of the frame. So we will start with tools and try and remove said bolts. If it fights me for more than 5 minutes, they are gonna become liquid and we're just gonna torch them out. I'm trying to do this in a manner where it doesn't just fall and damage itself or fall and hurt me. We'll see if we can achieve either. That side's completely off. It's off. I do want you to take a second and appreciate this hitch setup from back in the 50s. It is literally 1 J-hook with a nut, 2 J-hooks with a nut, and then these 2 clamps here. That's all that hitch had. I'm hoping I can put it back on, just because it's cool. Okay, so before you go and get all judgy, I understand that there are alternative ways to remove a body. In fact, there's probably better ways to remove a body. A lift, a forklift, any sort of equipment really. But I don't have any of that. I don't have the ceilings for that. So I gotta make do with what I got. And if you're struggling to find ways to get bodies off that are somewhat semi-easy to do, here's one way you can do it. This is my Harbor Freight chain hoist. That's my Harbor Freight cherry picker engine hoist. I popped the chain over a rafter through the ceiling. I welded this chain to the body pretty much equally, and it'll pick up in the middle. Do not go weld a chain that you were gonna use to secure loads to a trailer. Once you weld it, you've ruined the integrity of that particular link. That's how we're doing the front. I'm pretty sure I got all the nuts and bolts out of this thing. We'll find out one way or the other. In the rear, I took some extra tubing I had still from all the bracing I was doing, and then welded another chain to that. I don't know how much these bodies weigh, but this one's pretty well gutted. There's no glass in it. There's no interior. There's no hood, trunk, nothing. She's gonna be one of the lighter varieties that we pick up. We're gonna get it up, get the frame out, set her back down, hopefully on a cart. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead yet. Yeah, let's just start cranking on it and see what happens. Alrighty, up and away. Here we go. Let's do it. We're already, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Remember that cross brace / body mount I made? That's still attached. We gotta undo that first. Take 2. All right, we do have lift off the frame. We're still fighting something somewhere though, because there's less weight on the frame itself, because she's kind of floating. So we're still connected somewhere. I don't know where though. Well, 1, 2, 3. The front 4 body mounts seem to be out, so I'm not sure where we're finding. Maybe we start lifting the rear up. It definitely seems to be something in this corner doesn't want to lift, so we'll see if we can't safely get a look underneath here. This whole side of the body looks like it's free. Ugh. Everything is free so far. Every body mount I've looked at so far has space between it, so there's something in that back corner I gotta go look at. I don't know what it is. I think I found it. No, that one's out too. All the bolts are out. I don't understand. Now I'm confused. It's definitely hung up back here. Why is it hung up back here? Wait, I might have found it now. I might have actually found it now. It's a little dusty in here. Found it. Let's maybe take some pressure off. Now what does it want to do? We have success. Whoa, whoa, Simon. Whoa, whoa. Apparently the brake pedal wants to come with. Now why are we hanging up? I mean, like, what the heck? Why is it still this side? Oh, I forgot another one. I told you, there's a lot of body mounts in these things. Well, she ain't coming out, so we are gonna go to the next step. Whoa, now I think we're free. I haven't found anything else holding me up yet, but I'm sure I will. Now the question becomes, can we get the frame out? Oh boy, we're all tangled here. How in the world did that happen? Just a swing, man. Remember how I told you this thing had a lot of body mounts? Let's go over how many body mount bolts there actually were that I was talking about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 on one side. Now take into consideration, there's one in the center in the rear and there was one in the center in the front. We take the 11 from this side, add the 11 from that side, so we're at 22. Add the 2 center ones, we're at 24. 24 body mount bolts. It seems a bit excessive to me, but there's probably a reason, and maybe you know why there's so many. Maybe it has to do with ride conditions and frame, I don't know. I'm not even gonna try and pretend. There will probably be a quarter of those going back in. I was thinking maybe half, but even I didn't realize there was that many of them. Yeah, probably a quarter of those are going back in. Now we gotta get this thing all stripped down to the bare minimum. I wanna do the front suspension, I gotta do the rear suspension, but all the old fuel line, all the old brake line, all the old wiring, it's all gotta go. This thing has to be safe, so brake lines need to be replaced. This thing has to be safe, so wiring needs to be correct-ish. Just gonna start fresh. So we're gonna get it all stripped out and then we'll be ready to start working on suspension stuff. This is one of those big steps back before we make a big step forward.